If you're a teacher, you would have received Teams as an application, and the icon would look like this. You can use Teams in the Chrome browser without the application. However, there's one feature that is fairly essential if you're doing a live broadcast, and it is only available in the desktop app. When you open Teams the first time, you simply sign in with your school email address to get started. After you sign in, you're going to see the teams that you're already a member of. The school would have already set up a few teams for you. So as an example, I'm part of a team called Live Video. In addition, you can make your own teams. You want to make a team for each class of students that you have. So let's start. Click Join or Create a Team, and then Create a Team. When you get this box, you'll see all the team types. This is the recommended type for teachers to create a class for students. You want to give your team a clear name for yourself and for your students. So for example, if I'm teaching English Level 1, Period 1, I might name it like this. And then you can put some descriptional information in if you wish to. You can create teams for sports and clubs, and we'll review that later. For now, we're just going to focus on classes. At this point, you do not need to add any students. However, if there's another teacher participating with you in this class, you can add them now. Or if you've decided as a department for all English 1 teachers to be together, you could do that and not have a period, and all English 1 students in the school can participate in the same team. The next thing we want to do is set up a few of the core settings before we get started. Click the 3 dots and go to Manage Team. Go to Settings and to Team Code and hit Generate. Copy this code. In order to add your students, you're going to need this code. Click General to go back to the team page. From here, you can get started uploading class materials into a private Class OneDrive, or you can just go straight to Files. Class Notebook we will get into later. This is not required. It allows for you to provide personal feedback to students if you wish to do that. You can post assignments with due dates. This is very similar to Turnitin or other tools you've used. This is also not required, but you're free to use it if you want to. And you can track grades. We're going to add a couple of more things here that might be of interest. You need to do this for each team. It's optional, but probably very helpful. Click Add. Go to Website. Here, let's just put EHS Community. I'm putting the school's homepage here. By doing this, you and all your students can quickly jump to the page by simply going to this tab. So you can be in Posts, and you can jump here, and now you can go into a EHS Central or other parts of the school website. You can do this with any website that you use in your class. So any resource that you use on a regular basis, you can click a tab for. If there is a YouTube video that you want the students to use, you can also add a YouTube video by doing this. If you're not sure of the link, you can search by the topic. So for example, if I type Microsoft Teams, and this is a good tutorial. Let me find it. This is a good tutorial I went over earlier. I can hit this and save. And now this video will be here. And I can remove these tabs whenever I want. But if you've got a variety of videos you'd like to share, you can put them up or other resources. Let's go back to posts. Inside of posts is where you can have real-time communication with your students. This is a conversation chat room, but you also can click this button and turn this into a live meeting. Once you click Meet Now, all students who are in the classroom will be able to see you. I'm going to click More Actions and blur your background. This way, if you're at home, you can hide anything in your personal space from students. This allows you to share. You can share your screen. I have two screens. Or you can share PowerPoint files, or you can share a Microsoft Whiteboard. If you want to use Microsoft Whiteboard, you're also going to need a mobile device or an iPad so you can take advantage of the stylus feature. This will only allow you to share PowerPoint files. You can load them up in your Teams files and you can use them as part of your presentation. Or you can upload PowerPoint files from your laptop. Before your students join or when they start to join, you can hit Start Recording. This will allow you to record your entire session. Turn off incoming video. This will turn off the video of your students who are joining. I would highly recommend this so you don't have too many video channels going at once. If you want to change your audio device or other device, you can do that here. There are some additional features in Teams you might be interested in. For example, channels. Channels allow you to add private groups of students so you can make small working groups that do not interfere with one another. You also have a calendar version of Skype for calls and file sharing. It's recommended that you work within each team and not use these tools unless absolutely necessary. These tools allow you to connect to everyone in the EHS community. So if you want to have a private chat with somebody, you can click here outside of your team and do that. But when you're working with students, you really want to work inside the team environment. Previously, we copied the team code for this particular team so we could invite students. I'm going to do that again so that you remember how. Now I'm going to take this team code and I'm going to share it with my students. I've actually already logged in, so I'm just going to pull that up to save some time. So once I send this out, all the students should be able to receive it. When the students log into Teams, they will click Join or Create a Team, and they'll simply enter the team code to join. If you ever get lost in the interface, simply click Teams here and it will jump you back to this main page. I've used the team code to join as a student with another account. I'm going to go in as a teacher and check. I joined the team. So notice that I typed, I joined the team. You want your students to do this. As soon as your students join, you want them to do something simple to confirm that they're in. They can choose a smiley face, attach a photo, anything really, just so that you know that they've joined. I mentioned before that Class Notebook allows you to give private feedback to students. This is part of the OneNote Classroom system, and OneNote Classroom can actually be quite daunting for people. So we just want to use it in its limited form. So I'm going to hit Set Up Class Notebook. You do need to have students enrolled in the class before this works, so this isn't something you want to necessarily do ahead of time. You want the students to join the team first, and then you want to do this. Because you can use assignments to post almost everything else, really all you're looking to do is to give private feedback. So just delete everything and make a section called Feedback, and then hit Create. The class notebook has now been created. Microsoft's giving me a privacy option. I'm going to hit close. After you have cleared the welcome message, you will have this screen or something similar. Your next step is to click this arrow, and you should see all of your students listed under Content Library. When you click your student's name, you'll see a feedback tab. This is some sample feedback I've already typed. You can arrange your feedback however you want. You can add multiple pages of feedback, or you can just have one general page for feedback for all the projects that you work on. One interesting feature of OneNote is it allows teachers to dictate feedback to save time. If you click the dictate button, you did really well in class today. However, you need to work on your attendance. And then turn it off when you're finished. Most teachers are already using the Final Site LMS for assignments. You can continue using this during this flipped classroom situation. However, if you would like to use the assignments within Microsoft Teams, all you need to do is click Assignments and then hit Create. You can create an assignment or a quiz. We're going to do an assignment. As you can see, you put a title in, your instructions, which can be quite detailed, and it works pretty much like an online Word document. If you're going to score it, you can put in the number of points. You can also build rubrics or upload rubrics from Excel. These are not that difficult to do, and if you want samples that you can upload, just let me know and I'll send you some Excel samples, and then it might be faster to fill it all out in Excel and then just upload it. You want to assign it to all students, or you can just assign certain projects to certain students. That's up to you, and you can set a due date. This says assignment will post immediately. If you hit edit, you can schedule the assignment to post in the future. So maybe you're really organized and you're going to set up all your assignments to post throughout the week. So this one's going to actually post on the 5th at 9 a.m. and it's going to be due on the 9th at, let's just say, 11 a.m. And if you hit close date, that's going to mean no late assignments can be accepted. If you don't, then you're going to be taking late assignments. A few final points I would like to make. First off is the navigation. It's not always clear in Microsoft products how to navigate. So for example, right now I'm on assignments. These are all the places I can go. So obviously I can click these, or I can use this. Don't be afraid to click and jump around and see what happens. Remember, if you get lost, just hit Teams and jump back in. Secondly, what if you have things in here that you don't want? Well, some things you can remove. So if you click on this and you get a drop-down arrow, you can do that and hit remove. Just that easy. And you can customize it however you want for each of your classes. Right now I'm using the desktop app. And there's also a version of this in the browser which works very well. It has everything except the background blur feature. So that means if I'm not casting and I don't need to blur the background, you can just use Google Chrome, and please only use Google Chrome to use this feature, and you can launch it from your launcher. So if you're in your Microsoft interface, you can launch Teams from here or from here. A final point is that there is an app for Teams. It is in the iOS store and the Google Play Store. The app for Teams works very well. It has a lot of features that students will like for their phones and for their iPads. It's important to let students know about this because they can do quite a bit of their classwork using their mobile device if they want to. But mostly, if the app is installed, whenever you post anything, it gets pushed to their phone notifications. So they're more likely just to be notified when new assignments are are put in or events are scheduled. I highly recommend that all in-person meetings are scheduled in advance using the calendar system that you're using in Final Site because that's what you're currently doing. However, if you would like to use Teams to schedule a live stream, you can do that. Go down here to the camera and hit schedule a meeting. Set the time. You can put it in a description if you want, and then hit schedule. When you do that, it will go into the team calendar, and everyone should be able to get it. However, you do have to add students in order for them to get push notifications. So keep that in mind. If they're not going to be diligent in checking the team's calendar, doing this schedule might not make sure or ensure that they actually attend. If you would like to make a team for a non-academic group, simply go into Teams and click Join or Create Team. Create a team. Use the Professional Learning Community template. Make sure it's private only. You can either skip this point or you can start entering student names. In many cases, for making clubs or other smaller groups, it's faster just to add the names directly. You can go into Manage Team just like you did before and create a team code. With this team code, students can join. The other features of the teams are the same. You can have meetings, chats, and you can store files, make a schedule, make a calendar. You simply do not have the assignment features and the student OneNote features. You can still make a notebook. It's not exactly the same. You'll notice that this is general, meaning everyone has access to everything. It's not private. But you could use this if you wanted to keep track of plans and information about whatever you're working on. I think for most people, you're going to be using this simply as a place to meet online to have a video conference. If you only need a team to have a video conference and you don't think you're going to use any of the other features, this is definitely the best template and format for you. One final note about non-academic teams. You can add non-EHS employees and students to these teams. Please keep the number of non-EHS employees and students to a minimum, and do not add parents unless it's been approved by administration. To add someone who does not belong to the EHS community, click the three dots and click Add Member. From here, you will need their email address. Teams will register them as a guest, then they can participate in meetings. Other options for them will be limited, but they can participate in meetings and they can use these files in this notebook. For any and all teams that you're a member of or that you're leading, it's important to make sure that you're getting all the notifications. So after you log into Teams, you want to go here to this icon and click Settings. From here, if you want to change the default layout or color scheme, you can do that. But the most important thing is to go to Notifications. You can adjust your notifications here, and you can manage them here. If you are a student, you should follow your teachers. So teachers, if you're looking at this screen, what you would want to do in your class before you have to run classes remotely is to go in with your students and make certain that they've added your name here so that whenever you post anything, they get a special level of notification. Here are some adjustments that you might want to make to the default notification settings. First, replies to conversations I started, banner and email, replies to conversations I replied to, banner and email. Missed activity emails. This really depends on how diligent you are. If you're someone who is not checking your email regularly, then you probably should put every 10 minutes to every hour. If you're someone who's in Teams and you're paying attention to the notifications coming in through the application, you can probably put this on daily.